Sometimes in life there aren't any 50 shades of grey. They're either black or white shades, and today we've got the black beauty, the Honda Elevate, and we've got the white beauty, the Kia Seltos. Now both these cars are in the same segment, but both of them are as different from each other as white and black, or as chalk and cheese, or whatever the color you want to call it, because this one is basically a car which is meant for the enthusiast. It's got a brilliant 1.5 iVTEC engine, and this one is a car which is made more for somebody who's into gadgets and gizmos, because it's got a lot of features, plenty of tech, and really a lot of feel good things to talk about. But which one should you buy if you have a budget about 19-20 lakh rupees, or maybe 15-20 lakh rupees, because both of them fall in that price bracket? I'll answer that question for you in today's video. My name is Ashish Masi. If you come to the channel for the first time, then please do like and share and subscribe this channel, and also do share this video with all your friends who plan to buy either the Elevate or the Seltos. If you want to watch our other videos around mid-size SUVs, then please click in the link below. You've got all the boxes over there. And also, if you want to read about these cars, head to website carbike360.com. Let's get started with the Elevate versus Seltos. Talking about the Seltos, if you compare this car with the Seltos, which is of course our comparison today, the things that this car falls behind is in the sunroof. This one has a small sunroof. Of course, the Seltos, even on the mid-spec version, has a panoramic sunroof, and also the touchscreen is better on the Seltos, and of course the top of the line Seltos gets cool front seats, which this car misses out on. Other than that, completely digital gauges you get on the Seltos, which you don't get on this car, and overall the quality is half a notch below the Kia Seltos. So clearly the Seltos has the advantage in the front of the cabin department. I'll give the Seltos a good score of 9, and this one gets 8 out of 10. If you compare this car with the Honda Elevate, the only difference is that the Elevate in terms of the seat comfort is slightly ahead. I think it's got the better seats, but apart from that, this car really does wash it away in terms of the comparison. The touchscreen on this car is better to operate, the sound system is better to hear, digital cluster looks very cool. You also get this huge panoramic sunroof, which that car doesn't get. You also get cool front seats if you buy the HDX version, and of course you also get an air purifier if you buy the top line version. So those are 3 or 4 features which are extra on this car, and it just has a very plush and feel good factor about itself. 10 out of 10 to the front end of this cabin, and of course a lower score for the Honda Elevate. If you compare it with the Kia Seltos, which is our topic today, then in terms of the pure space and in terms of the pure overall comfort and composure, it's Honda's man maximum machine minimum principle which wins, because even this place is scoped out, so you can easily adjust 3 over here. There's no point in arguing about it. The flat floorboard also gives you the advantage for 3 people over here. The only thing is that it misses out on that USB. It doesn't have an air purifier like that car, and it doesn't have a massive panoramic sunroof, and it also doesn't have the Bose sound system which the top of the line Seltos has to offer. So really, in terms of the comfort, it is ahead, but in terms of the overall gimmicks and the features and the fancy stuff, the feel good factor on the Seltos wins. But I'll still give it a tie with the Seltos. So at the back, it's a tie. In the front, the Seltos is the clear winner. Now if you compare this car with the Honda Elevate, the outright seat comfort on that car is slightly better. Yes, that's true. The hip and knee angle is slightly better on that car, and also you get a little more space inside that cabin. So those are 2 areas where that car has the advantage. That said though, you don't get these blinds, you don't get this panoramic sunroof, and you definitely don't get that air purifier, and you neither get these 2 USB Type-C charging points. So in terms of the features and the overall ambience and the feel good factor, this car is ahead, but in terms of pure comfort, that car inches slightly ahead. But I'll give it a tie, since one is ahead in one department and the other is ahead in the other department. Now if you compare this car with the Kia Seltos, it's quite clear that this one has the advantage because it has the bigger boot in terms of pure volume as well as a better shape. So if you compare it with the Seltos gets 9 out of 10. This one gets a strong full score of 10 out of 10. Compared with the cars like the Hyundai Creta as well as with the Kia Seltos, definitely this car has the advantage in that department compared to those cars in the high speed stability. At lower speeds also just feels very absorbent, and it feels very consistent in terms of delivering you a very thumb-free ride. So there isn't too much going on with the suspension. It's very well tuned for Indian conditions. What's also quite good is the overall visibility. Front visibility, you get a nice and clean view of the bonnet. Side view mirrors are nice and chunky. The mirror over here is also nice and large. So visibility isn't a problem. And of course, you get that camera in the left side view mirror. So you press this button over here on the indicator stalk, and you can see what's happening on your left side in case you think you're in a blind spot, or something in your blind spot. The gearbox, the manual gearbox, is a fantastic gearbox as well. Throws are nice and short and crisp. Clutch action is nice and springy, and really the 6-speed means that you get a lot of flexibility. In fact, this car does need a lot of flexibility because the engine, as I said, tends to become a little buzzy. So if you're doing about 100 or 90 kph on most Indian highways, which are legal speeds, the engine is buzzing at around 2400 rpm in top gear, and that makes the cabin slightly better than it would have been if it was buzzing at 3000 rpm if it only had 5 gears. So that's the advantage of having 6 gears. Other than that, I think it's quite an enjoyable car to drive. If you're a keen driver and you don't want a turbo engine, then this is the best choice for you out there. Of course, if you want a turbo, then lots of options, and my favorite option, of course, is the VW Taigun in the turbo versions. It really is fantastic. All said and done though, I really have enjoyed driving this car today. But which one should you pick if you have a choice between this car and the Kia Seltos? That's a question that we'll have to answer by the end of this video review. So now it's time for me to stop these cars and give you a definite summary report. If you've enjoyed watching this video till the end, then please give me a like, please subscribe to this channel, and also please follow us on all our social medias. Thank you so much guys for watching, and we'll see you soon in another video. Don't forget to belt up both in the front as well as at the back. And when you compare it with the likes of the Honda Elevate, which is one of its rivals, I think that the Koreans now are as good, if not better, than the Japanese when it comes to pure gear shift quality. A few years back, about 5 or 6 years back, I think the advantage became very equal, very even Stevens, because earlier it was always the Japanese who had the advantage, but now I think it's become pretty much same or neck to neck, or whatever you want to call it. So in that sense, I think it's quite good. The ride is also pretty good. Again, if you compare it with the likes of the Honda Elevate, it's slightly behind the Honda Elevate, but more or less the same in terms of the city ride, and just as good on the highway. Now, one area where this car is ahead of the Elevate is definitely in the overall front end visibility. You can see the bonnet line all across, it's quite good, and also the rear visibility is quite good because you don't get that big chunky head restraints at the back. So in those departments, it's a good car, and you'll really enjoy the overall look and feel, and you'll also enjoy the overall visibility on the Kia Seltos, and the cabin also feels nice and good. Now, if you buy the Seltos's 1.5 version, you also get a 6-speed manual gearbox, and having a manual 6-speed unit means that flexibility is quite enhanced. You get to 100 kph or maybe 110 and 20 kph, then the engine is spinning at 2200 rpm, which makes the cabin feel nice and relaxed. So that is also something which a lot of customers will appreciate about this car. And what you'll also appreciate is the fact that the overall feel-good factor inside the cabin is generally quite good. So if I had to compare it with the Honda Elevate, what do I say? I think the engine is not as free revving as the one on the Elevate. I think the Elevate still has the advantage over there. But apart from all that and all the other things, I think this is a very good package overall. I'll stop the car and give you a definitive summary report and decide also which is the better option for you. Well, so who wins the battle of the Elevate and the Seltos? Well, it's quite easy to understand that the Seltos has the better options in terms of the overall features. It offers you a bigger sunroof, a panoramic sunroof, cool front seats, and even this particular version, the HTK O version, offers you a lot of features like alloy wheels, blinds, as well as that brilliant touchscreen and completely digital gauges. But if you are a pure enthusiast, you love driving, then the 1.5 VTEC on this car is obviously the better car in terms of driving engagement, and the backseat also is slightly better in terms of the overall comfort and the space. So if you want pure backseat comfort and space, then this is a better choice. If you want pure driving thrills, then this is a better choice, although the engine does tend to become a little loud when you rev it hard. But you don't buy a car just for sitting in the back seat or for just driving pleasure. You buy it as an all-round package, and I think the Kia Seltos has the advantage when you add up all the scores, you add up all the sums. I think as a sum of its parts, the Kia Seltos clearly has the advantage. I'll give it a score of 91 out of 100, and this one gets 89 out of 100 in today's comparison. As a standalone product, it is quite well made. It's engineered very well, but when you compare it with its rivals in the segment, the Elevate just slightly feels as if the rivals offer you slightly better rounded packages. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.